Back to my channel. In this video we are going to learn how to create a simple reusable tab component with React.js. So I will show you our final output. So this is the component. So description and additional information. If I click on additional information tab, it will show me its contents. I can switch between the tabs. So now I will come back to my code and show you how we can do that. So here I have in my main index.js I have imported app component. So this app component is currently empty. Okay. So this is how the index.js looks like. So I have a component app component. If you come to this component, there is a variable items, and I'm just rendering HTML here. This is important. Items are important as we are passing these items. It contains two arrays like description and product description. It's a content, and there is a property here which is active, which is true, and the next array the same thing is there. So basically it is active. When you do is active true, the tab is active. It shows this tab. So now I will quickly create a tab component. To create tab component, I will create a directory components. I will name the component as xtab.js. Oops. So now I will use I'll import state items. So the items which will pass from app component to xtab component, I will save that result in a state. But items. So now, so here I will I'll create a CSS module. I will import that. I will start here. By adding the wrapper class styles, xtab, then followed by the list type. I'll give this class as styles, xtab, list, the right tab. So now I will give a class name here. Styles xtab item. So now I have to do looping here. So I will just item start now. Followed by the index. So I will take this within the map method. Return. So we need to assign a key here. So this is the item. this is actually item. Then here we have given a name as, we have to add this. Our next step is to this will display the tabs. Okay, so the next we have to display the contents. So for that, I'll create another class. Styles. Here I will use the same thing. And here I will change this to division. The class name will be extract content. Okay. So this followed by div. So here we will display the description's content. Okay. So one thing we need is we need to activate the class. So to do that, I will use a string literal here. So the class will be just use the same thing over here also. And change this class name from tab item to extract content. So now, when we click on a particular tab, we need to show the tab. So for that, we need an on-click event listener. On this, use on click. From here, we will pass an event. Followed by, we will call a function called show, which takes the first parameter as event, then followed by the index. Small. Now I will create the function event index. So now I will create a tabs array and save the items. This will be the tabs variable will be used to manipulate and change the state. At the end, I will use the set item state and update the data. So now I will loop through these tabs. Oops. Item index. So I will change this index to item index. So here in item, I will set the property is active as false, and if I'll do conditional checking here. If the index, if this index and index item are both equal, then I will make it as active. Just copy this, make it as true. Okay. So now I will return the item. Return item. After all these things, the final work will be to update the state. then I will pass all the tabs items. So this will update the array. So now the next thing will be to use modules.css. So if you go here, so we need to add CSS. For that, I just use its tab. I will add background color as this will be for list. I will change the default margin. I will also change the padding and also make it as display as flex, so that all the list can be displayed in line. So next thing is, so now the list item, so I'll make them as display inline block and give them as padding as top 10, side 15 pixel, and cursor pointer. The next thing will be when this tab component will become active. So at that moment we need to change the properties. So if it is active, I will change the background color as so now it is regarding the container. I will go to X tab, now container. I'll just add a class. Else you can ignore this, not an issue. Just comment on this. Use that. Just copy this. X tab container. I will use content. So by default the content will be display none. So when if the content gets active, then it will be shown. Okay. So now we need to import this tab component. So in app component, we need to include the X tab component. For that, use this. We have to pass some items here as a props. So in this case, that item will be this array, this whole array. So now I'll just execute this. So this needs to be recompiled. Okay, so we ran into error. Let's see what is that. Line number 39. Okay. So I'll just remove this class because we haven't added any C styles for this. So now that it is not getting activated, the contents are not getting activated. For that we have to see this. That is active, and here also we need to change. Okay, right. Compiling. Alright, so now it's loading, but it is not getting changed. So we have error here. Apps tab not a function. Tab. Okay. So now you can see the tag components work perfectly. So this is basically a good example of how you can use a how we can make use of regular components and turn it to a reusable component in React.js. So we can use the same tag component in anywhere in our application, and you can customize it as however you want. So this was all about the React.js tab component. For more, just subscribe to my channel. Thank you.